Learn how to avoid the mistakes that could ruin your next surveillance operation. This video outlines the top errors private investigators make and offers actionable strategies to ensure your investigations are successful and your results are accurate. As a seasoned private investigator, I have seen my fair share of surveillance operations that went awry due to poor planning and preparation. Given that, it's important that we first delve into 3 common planning and preparation mistakes that can compromise the success of your surveillance efforts. First is failing to conduct a thorough background and research on your target. Before starting a surveillance operation, it's crucial to gather as much information about the subject as possible. This includes understanding their daily routines. What are their work hours? Do they have school-age kids? Do they have regular appointments, meetings, social places that they may go to? You also want to identify habits they may have. Are there any distinctive habits, such as frequent visits to certain stores, coffee shops, fast food joints? Do they smoke? Do they drink? Do they go to the bar? Or are there other behaviors that can be used to help follow them when they are active? And you want to identify known associates they may have. This can include family members, friends, business partners, business associates, whoever else may be involved in their day-to-day activities. But how do you get all of this intel, you say? Great question. First, make sure you always conduct a thorough background on your subject before you ever think about doing the surveillance. This video is sponsored by OREP Insurance and Working PI Magazine. OREP is a leading provider of private investigator liability insurance. Visit orep.org for a quote today. Use Google's Maps or some other online map system to identify potential ingress and egress points for their neighborhood so you know where they may leave and come back from. You might also want to do a pre-surveillance recon and check it out firsthand so you really do understand the entire layout of the neighborhood. This will also allow you to find good vantage points for when you set up stationary surveillance. And while you're at it, look for bad places to park, places to avoid, places like near schools or parks or bus stops. You want to also anticipate where the subject may go once they do go active. Look for nearby schools, parks, shopping centers, malls, grocery stores, fast food joints, restaurants, and all of the other places they may go to. You also need to complete a good OSINT, open source intelligence investigation on your subject. Check out their social media pages. This can provide much needed information like their favorite coffee shops, fast food joints, kids' schools, and other vital intel. Do a full Google search for them also by first and last name, in quotes, last and first name, in quotes, with commas separating the names, without the comma, with the middle names, with middle initials, and any other way you can think of it. Many times I find great intel doing this just through Google reviews. Yep, they may leave a review for that favorite coffee shop or restaurant or someplace else that will help you during the surveillance. Now, besides failing to plan and prepare, another area where many PIs fail in surveillance is in documenting their observations while on surveillance. First off, you need to document everything you see and what the subject does with video documentation. Make sure your video camera is ready to go. Battery charged, plenty of storage space for video, and make sure your video camera is by your side so you can grab it and grab the footage you need to close the case. I always keep my surveillance camera plugged into a backup battery supply and the screen open so it is always on, always charged, and always ready. I also keep it on a handheld tripod, which I use as a monopod, so I can quickly pull it up in a moment's notice, hit the record button, and get the video evidence I need. Now, I don't just hit the record button right away when I pull it up, though. I keep the zoom all the way back. Pull up the camera, get it zoomed in and focused, then I hit the record button. Then when I am done shooting the video, I do the reverse. I hit the record button to shut off the recording. I pull the zoom back and then I set my camera down. This ensures I have the least amount of editing possible for all of my video clips. But the video documentation is only part of the documentation portion of a surveillance investigation. When you edit your video, you need to pull still shots of key moments in the video so you can include those in your written report. I try to take notes as I'm editing my video, or I will be writing the report as I edit the video so I can make sure all of my time entries in my written report match the video's timestamp. Your video does have a timestamp in it, doesn't it? This leads to another crucial mistake that newer surveillance investigators make that we need to discuss. If your camera has the ability to set the date and time in it, then most likely it has the date and time stamped into the metadata, but that's not always enough. Most clients today want to see that date and time stamp right in the video itself, and you need special software to do that in most cases. I use IVE, or Investigation Video Editor, to edit my videos. Now, they are not a sponsor. I just love their video editing software. It is video editing software made by PIs for PIs, so it does exactly what you need it to do, nothing more and nothing less. It will put the date and time in the video based on the metadata for the video. It will also take the audio out automatically, and it will put all the clips in timed order for you as well, and allows you to grab stills right there when you're editing the video. Now, if you use a Mac, then there is a good chance your native video editing software will put the date timestamp in it for you as well. I have no idea how to do this, but I know investigators who have told me that their native Mac video editor did this for them. Another pitfall many PIs fall into during the documentation phase is the lack of detail. You need to make sure you put enough detail of what you observed and what you captured on video so it paints a good picture or tells the full story without TMI, too much information. Only put the facts, not opinions, in your reports, and only put the facts that matter to the case in your report. For instance, if you see the mailman deliver the mail at 11:30 a.m., that is a fact. But it is not necessarily a fact that needs to be documented in the report or in video for that matter. I do include things like that in my case notes, so then if I go out on surveillance again on the same case, I have that intel in my back pocket, but I don't put it in my reports. Besides the front and the back end of surveillance, the prep and the documentation, there is plenty of mistakes that PIs make during the course of surveillance too. The biggest is assuming a compromised stationary position. In other words, setting up for failure. If you pick your stationary position only considering your comfort and your viewpoint, you are truly setting yourself up for failure. This is when most PIs get burned while sitting on stationary surveillance in a comfy, cozy, not too cold, not too hot location. Those locations are also the ones where most people see someone just relaxing inside their car. Those are the parking spots many people want to park their car. It is also many times nowhere close to the best location to be when the subject goes mobile. So many PIs either lose their subject on the initial follow because they didn't plan things out in the first place, or get burned on the initial follow because they didn't think about how they can initiate that follow without getting noticed. This goes hand in hand with the lack of situational awareness. A surveillance investigator must be aware of everything and anything that is going on around them 360 degrees. They need to know not only when the subject goes active, but when does the neighborhood get active? When do the neighbors go to work? When do the kids go to school? When does the trash get picked up? When do people go for walks? These are all times when you, the surveillance investigator, can get burned if you are not paying attention and maintaining situational awareness at all times. This leads right into mobile surveillance. You have to be on your toes, paying attention, watching what the subject does, looking ahead to where they may go, watching the traffic flow, watching for pedestrians, watching your distance from the subject so you don't lose them or make them suspicious, and that watch list goes on and on and on. Now, to be sure, there's no one sure way to prep for a case. There's no one sure way to set up stationary surveillance, and there's no one sure way to conduct mobile surveillance, and there's no one sure way to document your investigation. Every case takes on a life of its own and has its own requirements for success. But watching out for these common mistakes will help you ensure that you succeed. And if you need more information about being a successful PI, then check out this video.